Hi folks, thanks for joining us today. This is Michael Halpern once again with MuniReg out of Cleveland, Ohio, with the next installment of our series of video blogs discussing vacant and abandoned properties, community blight, etc., etc. Today we'll do things a little differently. I have a little prompt, a newspaper article, that we'll be discussing that I came across that has a couple of really strong quotes on two very distinct issues, but I think it's well worth sharing. For the folks that are on our bi-monthly mailing list, about 13,000 of recipients of this bi-weekly newsletter. You may have seen this article, but this forum over here gives me an opportunity to elaborate a little bit and opine a little more than in a newsletter. So, that being said, I'll jump right in. Two very distinct issues. We're dealing with a community that is looking for solutions. Sweet Home contemplates vacant building solutions, referring to the vacant commercial buildings that are in their downtown area. So, according to the mayor says the four entities own 90% of the empty structures. Okay, so you have a small group that obviously owns a large swath of these empty structures. And obviously the article goes into a little more detail about the community itself, but here's what the first quote that caught my eye. So from the mayor, he says, here we're trying to come up with trying to punish or trying to do something to get our downtown viable again. But these individuals are holding up the game, and that's the frustration. My thought is, you bring them to the table and find out what it would take for them to lease, sell, or do something. We may find out that we may be able to help as a city to move it forward. Councilor Dave Trask looked forward to such a session, adding, will we get anywhere? We don't know. But it would be nice to know what we can do to help them to make it easier. So, very succinctly, that what they're throwing out there is they're being flexible. And that's so key to the conversation. You never want to reward bad behavior, but here they're opening lines of communication and they are open to being flexible. So, that's so encouraging. So kudos to the mayor and to the staff for taking this approach. You never know. And throughout the series, you'll hear me talk a little bit about carrots and sticks, and you always want to have a stick, but here it seems like they're very open to having a strong, incentive to get this moving forward. All I can say is to the folks there in Sweet Home, Oregon, is bear in mind that at the end of the day, the owners of these vacant properties are paying taxes, I'm assuming. They want to make money, then business is making money. If the property's sitting vacant, they're not making money. So they want to put it to productive use, they want to make money, find out what the hindrance is. So that's the first one. I think you'll get pretty far if you take that approach. Secondary, so when it comes to vacant property registration ordinance, which they have, it says over here it was adopted in 2021. One of the things I'm seeing is folks are out there, advocates for a vacant property registration ordinance, really pitch it as a end all. Seems like they're giving the end all. Implement this tool, and properties will be maintained. A little bit of an exaggeration, in my opinion. A vacant property registration is an extremely valuable tool. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in this business. An extremely valuable tool in the toolbox to fight blight, but it is not the end all. Getting folks to register is part one. There's a background, there's a reason for it. The main objective is to get properties maintained. The VPRO, the registry, is a tool to that process, a means to the end, not an end at all. So again, that's a much longer conversation. Feel free to reach out to me directly for any details. But this is the quote from, once again in Sweet Home, from the Community and Economic Development Director Blair Larson. Just because a vacant property is registered does not mean it will soon or ever be occupied. Some owners seem willing to talk with the city about their property, but they don't talk to any potential lessees. And registration does not mean it will look nice. He's hitting it on the nose right here. There's a registration process over there in Sweet Home. It is a valuable tool. It will help, but the registration process itself will not force the maintenance of the properties. There's other factors that need to be done as well. So, and that's including an ordinance that has maintenance components. So, that being said, kudos again to Sweet Home, and any folks out there would like to discuss a little more in detail, feel free to reach out to me directly, again at mhalpern@munireg.com, MHALPERN @munireg.com.